Hey folks, welcome to McGinn's Woodshop. Today I'm going to do a live edition, and I might record this after or edit it after, but for now anyway, I just want to fool around and I'm in the mood. So what I'm doing is I'm assembling 16 walnut boxes. Cut them out. We'll grab a sample here. So I cut out strips of walnut. I cut out an 1.5 inch width of a board of walnut, and then I resawed that in half because it was a 5/4 sawn, or 5/4, sorry, thickness, so 1.25 inches. Anyway, this is a leftover strip, and I cut 2 thicker strips, and then I ran my. Oops, I can't take a top one. So just to catch you up here, I ran on the table saw the entire strips, and then I went on the miter saw and I set up a jig and did every single one at 4 inches. So, oh yeah, when they were full length, I sanded them up to 320 to save myself a little hassle later. Whoops. So then we have one piece out of each kit, out of each one, that I cut this off with the bandsaw, and I use the bandsaw because the blade has a lot less of a thickness of kerf. And what I'm going to do is then, this is now the front of the box, so this will be the bottom here, where the bottom part of the box goes in, and then this is the top. And what I'm going to do with this extra piece here is attach it to the lid, so that you then have a little finger grab here and pull the lid out. There it is. Hey Chris, how you doing, buddy? Hello, hello, hello. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is. So folks, I've grabbed myself a little glass of carbonated apple juice here. So if you do join me in the shop while we're live, I do encourage you to also sit back, relax, and join the conversation. Got a chat window on the side there. All right, let me bring it on over here. And this piece goes to this one. Okay, so there we go. I have enough for 16 boxes here, and I have enough for 24 lids and bottoms. It's just the way they cut out, because I cut them in full lengths and then chop and kind of, get all my pieces that way. So instead of wasting any piece, I just continue until the full stock is used. Anyway, so with that said, here's the finished kind of idea of the box. Right there, I'm going to engrave the top. The lid slides off, and the walnut USB stick will be inside. Difference between this one and these ones, there's a little finger grab right there. Those are the originals. Okay. So what I've done here, now it's time. I'm going to move this up here. Actually, grab the old camera. Well. Okay, another solution here. Going for a little ride. I'll get you set up. Here we go. I'll do some fancy stuff like Average Joe's Joinery someday. I'll get a couple cameras all recording and whatnot, but we're gonna go hardcore here tonight. We're just winging it. We're winging it. All right, I got one of these like. You gotta bend the thing. There you go. Okay, so that's good enough. You can see that what this is here is a piece of painter's tape and one of the lid pieces here. And I've gone ahead and assembled it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this one up because I've already had this ready. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll set up another one right after. If you have any questions about the process or anything at all, just go ahead and chuck her out there in the chat. What do we got? 7 viewers. Hello, hello, hello. Say hi in the chat there. Let me know who you are. So I'm just gonna chuck a little bit of glue in there. Oops. By a little bit, I mean a big dab of it apparently. So I'll just go ahead and I don't want too much. Totally unprepared for this. This is what happens live. This is the juicy stuff you guys get. Real world stuff. All right, so let me grab quickly a little popsicle stick. Oops. Let's see here. This should do. So I want to avoid getting glue on the surface. Let's see. Hey, Mr. Bashirs. How you doing, man? Miami. Boxes are coming along. The boxes are coming along. Actually, I'm going to grab my... So I got this spout on the end of this one. Should make it a little easier. I'm going to go ahead and run through the cracks. How do you open your glue when it's dry? Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess. Maybe I should back the camera up a bit. There's more going on. More going on than the actual. All right, so again, I'm going to squeeze this a little bit in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and right in the crack there. I don't need a lot. I just need a little bit in the crack. I just want to hold things in place. I'm going to put splines in this box afterwards. A couple maple splines, probably. The boxes are for Sharlie Faye Photography. She is a fantastic photographer. Like, you know, just that perfect moment, perfect angle, perfect view, and she put herself right in the perfect place for the shot. She did our wedding, and after she found out I do this woodwork, she asked me to make these boxes for her. These are her original boxes, and she wants something very similar, but you know, my own style. So that's basically what we're doing here. I'll give you another little example here once we get things. You'll see a little bit better once it's glued up. Yeah, Jim. I put a link in the description there if you want to check out her Facebook page. You can see her pictures for yourself. So just get a little bit of glue on each end. We're going to start rushing a little bit because we don't want to run out of setup time here. So I'm going to go ahead and close her up. So just as I see little glue squirts, hopefully I can move this. There we go. Okay, there, that's better. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'll be better with my camera setups next time. I do plan on doing this a lot more, hopefully. So you can see glue coming out here. I definitely don't want it in the top track. That's the lid track. So I just need to just wipe that out. Nice to add a little straw. Instead, I'll just take this little pick end right here. Oh no! It's the end of the world as we know it. What's up, TJ's Woodworking Shop? Ozzy Dash Spell. Hey, I don't think I've seen you around before. I just remember the name Ozzy, you know what I'm saying? So, here we go. So we'll go ahead and actually I'm going to pull some of this glue out already. I know it's going to happen now. I am trying to get a little bit of glue in there though, because up the top, I mean. There we go. Okay. So that fits together nicely. I may have already tried this before I get live, so, you know. So now, and I don't really need to line anything up because the actual slit for the bottom is almost a perfect fit. It took a couple runs though on the table saw, I'll be honest. I had to sneak up on it, so they say. But I find it better to sneak up on a size than to try and measure it and pretend like I can eyeball the right exact measurement. So there we go. We got our first box together. Enough glue in there in each corner. I can see just a little bit of a seep out there. You see that? Just a little tiny bit. I'll go through with a little corner chisel and just chisel that out after. So that there we'll just set aside and we'll back up the camera and we'll do the next one. Do you have any questions from anybody? This is Walnut. I'm using some 1/8 inch ply. It's a high grade ply and it finishes real nice. So you can see here, I'll show you the lid. It will slide in just like that. And there's the lid. So this other piece that I cut off the top, so I cut this piece off the end right here, see? I ran all my pieces exactly the same and then sliced off this top part. Then you have your lid, and I use the remainder top part because I use the bandsaw. I have lots of it. I can go ahead and attach it here. Anyway, I will after. I'll fit it, and it'll sit right there and be like the lid grab, and the logo will be here, of course. So let's do that 16 more times. I pay $20 a board foot for Walnut. Well, 1970 something. A board foot. That adds up fast, my friend. I bought one single board of this. Well, there's a lot. So, all right. So here we go. I'm going to back up the camera now so we can kind of see better, kind of more what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me, guys. I don't want to make you dizzy. Whoa. Whoa. All right. Oof. There. Okay, so I've taken a straight ruler here and clamped it to stop that from waving. Apologize again for the setup. So here we have a straight edge, and that's just to give me one flat edge to go against and a flat base. This piece of maple that I had. So get all little spots. Like my Italian. All right, slow down. Got my painter's tape. I'm going to roll out a little bit here. and just leave it real close to the, if I can get it off my finger here. Sorry, I'll just grab a piece. So we grab our first piece, and I'm going to start by pushing it against the edge of the ruler and slide the tape underneath. Kind of stretch it out with my pinky so it's flat. And then I commit it. So that's in. I'm going to go ahead and do the next piece. So I can see I have 2 lighter pieces in this batch. There was some of the sapwood was actually, you know, I hit sapwood and there's nothing really I can do with that. And actually I kind of like it. It has a different kind of look and feel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix them up. So front, side, side. So we go side will be light. And then the back will be dark. And then the side will be light. So edge to edge to edge. Now, I like taking my painter's tape because it's so expensive. Not really, it's cheap as hell. Heck, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and run another piece that just matches, gets past all the joints. And that's just so that I can get a little extra pressure on it and not worry about snapping the tape. Really not sure if it's even needed, but what do we got going on here? Did you guys hurt Chris? Is that what you're saying in the chat there? You hurt his hand? Okay. So we'll do that again. We're going to take another lid, and we're going to make sure the light way is in, and we can just sit it in like this. And we're going to do a little test fit first, just to make sure everything's going to come together. Oops. And see, that's why if there's glue on this, and I did that ridiculousness where I put my front piece upside down, I'd have to take it off. I'd be making a mess trying to work with it. So there we go. Corrected. All is right in the world. And there we have another box. So the edges look good. Our seams look good. We're going to go ahead and glue this one back up. Have we got any questions so far? Pretty complicated. Oh, okay, yeah. I thought I missed something. Okay, so where I ended up ripping my tape there, I'm just going to put this is just to connect the 2 pieces and hold them together. So, all right. So let's do that. Let's this around. Let's give you another seat over here. Let's try this angle. I can see clearly now. The camera is on. All right, there we go. Oops. Camera holder of this thing is so hard to bend. Get out of the way. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Here we go. Let's just get a little bit of that back in there. There we go. Okay, so I'll take that out so you can see. I'm going to stop this from moving. So here we go. I'm going to run a straight line across first. Take some of the excess and move it into the edges. Spread it around. Doody doo 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 doody doody doo doody doo. So, like I was saying earlier, cut this in full strips. It's easier to then chop up into pieces, and also sand it before you chop it. Saves a lot of having to sand each individual one. I just sand a single long piece. Just not gonna make it. Okay, so it's looking good. See what we can do with this. So again, just make sure this is in right. Let's go ahead and close her up over here. Oh, that looks good. Oh. And she closes up. So there she is. That's number 2. And let me check the length on this. How long we've been live here? 20 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna put the camera back. You got 10 minutes. Any questions or general banter? Just the cameras. I gotta figure out a better camera solution. I do apologize. Okay. Mr. Cute. Oops. Chop my head off. Chop my head off. Chop, chop. There we go. So Chris was just saying maybe I should let everyone know how I made these. I had let's bring her all the way back to the start of the story. Way back in 1972. There we go. So I had a piece of walnut one day, and it was approximately 3 inches wider than this. I cut 2 strips, actually be 3 inches plus a quarter inch, so 3 1/4. I cut anyway 2 strips of this 1.5 inches off like this, rip cuts, and then I resawed this 5/4 piece into 2 pieces right through the center, actually just a little bit less than the center, which left me a strip of about 1/8 remainder after of walnut. I don't know, I'm sure I'll use that for something. But anyway, so I had those 2 thicker than this length, and what I did with it was then sanded it, and I sanded it the basic sand, and then I ran it through the table saw. I set my blade, I set the width, I'd run it through one side, and then I would flip it around like that, and I'd run it through the other side, so it would be same opposites. That's how I got these 2 tracks here, like that. And actually it was cool when I was laying them out. I got thinking that's like a toy train track, which maybe that'll be a project someday in the future. So what do we got here? Questions yet from this? Yeah, Jason told you to run stock through jointer cleaner before the saw. You know what? I didn't run it through the jointer first. They don't have to be that precise. It's boxes. And it's already, I mean, it was, this wood is well milled already. So I wasn't too concerned about, very minute issues. And plus it's walnut and sand's flat, nice and easy. So I didn't worry about that too much. So yeah, so I had all these pieces and I had, a bunch of them to make 16 boxes. And then, so let me just not get these mixed up. So then I took one piece from each set of box and I sliced off the top right like that, which left me with these two pieces. Once we have these two pieces, now we join them together like this into our box form. And we used, I used on my table saw, I set the width first. Like once I had these pieces, I put them together, and then I came down to, like, I measured. Then it was a little bit big, so then I trimmed off just a tiny bit, until I got an exact fit. Once I had the exact fit, I kept that setting, and then I ran again. I had full lengths of these. So let me just get to her there. So I had some full lengths of my stock here for the base and lid, and so I ran that through the table saw. Since it's 4-inch square, I then turned it and cross cut them. Well, it's plies, you don't really cross cut it, but anyway. And we ran this way and chopped out a bunch of them 4x4 square. Or actually, it ended up being 3.5 and 1 line, 3 9/16. So that's the story of that. And also, just as a little tip here, you want to prevent blowout, I put on each cut, I put some painter's tape, and then I cut down, and I did it on both sides, and I cut it down, and it made nice, super clean edges, just like this. Not a blowout. Boom. Zip zap, just like that. So that, my friends, is how we did it. I guess the only thing left will be at the end. Like I said, I'll be fitting these top pieces, these little leftovers. I'll be fitting them just like that. Hey, Tracy Keaton, Mr. Miller, banter, you got it, buddy. All right, so that's all I'm doing now. So I have about 3 minutes left. I want to keep this to half an hour, and I'll put some pretty thumbnail on this, and I'll probably end up leaving it how it is. But if anybody has any questions, or if you have any insight, like comments towards it, I'm gonna be thinking about doing these little live things, just little, like, I didn't do a video on this project because I didn't. So maybe I'll batch out some boxes and make a video, I don't know. But definitely not making a video. I thought that this kind of style anyway, where I kind of stop at a point and just go over what I'm doing and what brought me there, and some different decisions that I made along the way on the project. There's things I'd like to do, but I gotta say, it's hard to get things into a routine with, when life happens. So. All right, you know what? I throw all these out, start over, and make another video. And that way I can make a video. What do you think? All right, folks. Well, I'm going to get at her. You guys get back out in your shops and make that first cut. No, that sounds familiar. But you guys get out there, get things done. Take care.